There's a lot of topics to cover within the breast cancer community. In A Beautiful Self, we bring in the experts to inform, to take your questions, and to inspire.
Tune in Tuesdays at 12 on Facebook and Instagram Live to join the conversation.
Hey you guys, my name is Melissa Berry. I'm the founder of Cancer Fashionista and a triple negative breast cancer survivor. I'm so excited to chat with you about fashion and loving yourself after cancer.
Hi everyone, it's Jillian
and Michelle,
and welcome to Tip Tuesday, where we cover relevant topics for breast cancer survivors, fighters, and their support systems, which are so important. So really everyone will get something from these shows. And today our very special guest is someone that I am lucky enough to call friend, warrior sister, Leo sister. She's a huge advocate and activist for our community. She has a podcast called Dear Cancer, I'm Beautiful. And we are so thrilled that she is here with us today. Her name is Melissa. You may know her as the Cancer Fashionista. As always, please drop a comment, ask any questions you have for her. But before we get to Melissa, Michelle, I know we do have some housekeeping that we need to take care of.
Yeah. Well, last month in April, the Sexiest Beauty did a awesome fundraiser for us, and all of you out there who supported, we do want to thank you so much for shopping for our cause, and especially Heather for offering that $10 per purchase give back, which was awesome. And those details will follow. And she also had a contest for a big grand prize of 4 items from the Rose Balm collection. And we have a winner. And her name is fighter survivor Susan Block. So Susan, if you're listening, please DM us to claim your prize. And also, Jill, I wanted to mention about Melissa. We had a session with her, and that is one of the most smoking hot sessions that we've ever had, I will add.
Well,
so without further ado, let's bring her in. Let's
yay!
Smoking hot kitten.
Where is that kitten?
Here she comes. Here she is.
Hello. I've been waiting all morning for this, you guys.
Hi, gorgeous kitten.
Oh, you're making me blush. Hi, gorgeous kittens.
Yes.
We still, Melissa, I love when you periodically, you'll jump in and you'll post one of your photos from our shoot together, and I'm like, yeah, drop the mic.
Oh my God. Honestly, I got a lot more than I bargained for. It wasn't just about the photos. You guys really made me feel so beautiful and special. And I think what you do is so beautiful and special that we all have that girl inside of us, that goddess, whatever you want to call her, and you pull her out after breast cancer. So bless you for that.
Well, thank you for circling back with us. I know you and I have had the pleasure of doing a lot of little things together along the way. And that's what's so beautiful about this terrible thing, is that the people that you meet. But for those that don't know a little bit about your cancer journey, can you bring us up to speed and tell us your journey with it?
Absolutely. And first of all, thank you for having me on your show here. I've been following you, and I love what you're doing, and I'm really honored to be here with you today. So I had a lot of breast cancer in my family, and my mom was on my case when I was in my early 30s to get a BRCA test. Long story short, I went for the BRCA test, and I kind of knew that I was BRCA positive. So in my head, I thought, okay, I'm not going to look at this as a diagnosis. I'm going to look at this as like a roadmap to my health. And I did test positive for the BRCA gene, which meant that I had to go for, MRIs, clinicals, ultrasounds quite frequently. So I really felt like I was so closely monitored that I honestly never thought I would get breast cancer, because I was being closely monitored. Like I always say, I took birth control pill, I ate kale, I did yoga, like not happening. And it was when I was going for a very routine mammogram, and it was right after I had a clinical exam. And I'm like, this is silly. This is such a waste of time, because the technician even said, we have to do a clinical exam before your mammo. And I said, well, I just had one. And it was like this whole, I just want to underscore the fact that I just really did not see this coming. So I had a clinical, and for those of you watching that don't know what that is, when the technician feels your breast, that's a clinical exam, and she felt something suspicious right away. and she put a sticker on it. And I thought, okay, I'm in trouble. So fast forward, this is all on the same day. They actually did a couple of needle biopsies and ultrasounds right in the office, and they told me that I had breast cancer. And this was one of those days I was just busy running around. It was like dry cleaner, mammogram, you know, just check. And I did not see it coming. And it was very scary. And, you know, what was even scarier is that we knew that this was an aggressive form of breast cancer because I was so closely monitored, and this really just popped up so quickly. And when I went for my consultation the very next day, it was the same day that Angelina Jolie came out with her news about a prophylactic bilateral mastectomy. And I was like, why didn't we do this? You know, it's always easier in hindsight. But anyway, that's when I was actually diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer.
Well, that leads me to, I did want to talk about this, and because you are a triple negative cancer survivor, and that's a big deal, because what happens is we understand within our community that there are different types of breast cancer, but the common, you know, like a person outside of our community or a lay person outside of the community, you know, thinks, oh, breast cancer is breast cancer. Like there's just, that's it. And to be very honest, I remember even though I was stage 2B, they said to me, look, if you had to have a breast cancer, this is the easier form to have, right? Because we can treat you hormonally. You're triple negative, and that means something different. So tell me just a little bit about what that means to be triple negative.
Absolutely. You know, when I heard triple negative, I said to my doctor, well, that sounds triple bad. And he kind of, I'll never forget, he chuckled a little bit and he said, yeah, you know, triple negative gets a bad rap, but the only good thing about it is that once you hit 5 years without a recurrence, the chance of it coming back is pretty much slim to none. So did I find that comforting? Sort of. 5 years seems like a long time for me to, you know, sit and hope and wait. So I tried to kind of set that piece aside. But for those of you that, you know, are not that familiar, yes, to your point, there are so many different types of breast cancers. And that's something I didn't even know when I was first diagnosed. And triple negative lacks the receptors for the hormones progesterone, estrogen, and it makes very little HER2 protein. And what all that stuff means basically is that it's trickier to treat. There's no targeted treatment for triple negative breast cancer except for very aggressive chemotherapy and a bilateral mastectomy, which I chose to do both.
Good. Well, you know what? Everyone has to make that decision. That's one of the hardest parts, is what decisions are you going to make and what feels right to you. So thank you for sharing that. And I think that
Sure.
our community needs to hear more from triple negatives, you know, just like we are always trying to push our metastatic community forward, because people really need to understand there are differences and nuances. So on another note, you became very, very active through this, right? Through into the cancer community, which is something I think that doesn't happen for all of us, but sometimes it just leads you to a calling. So I want to ask you, like, describe what you're doing for the community, because you do so much. I'm like, you do like your kind of one-stop shopping. Like, tell us about what the Cancer Fashionista does before we go nitty-gritty.
Well, thank you for, listen, if I'm not feeling good about myself, I know where to go now. You guys are awesome, like pumping up my ego here, but
That's
seriously,
true. Leo, girl, we get it.
But thank you for your kind words. So I have to tell you, full disclosure, Cancer Fashionista happened by accident. It happened out of my own need. I was a fashion and beauty publicist before I had breast cancer. So I was going to fashion shows. I was, you know, putting together campaigns for really cool designers and running around New York and going to events. And it was sort of like Sex in the City. It really was. I mean, it was so much fun. It was really hard work. I'm not going to lie. So many all-nighters and stuff like that. But it was incredible. And I was really at the top of my career when this happened. And once I knew what my course of treatment was, and I knew that I was going to live through this, I thought, okay, how am I going to look like, I don't need to look like a supermodel, but how am I going to look like myself going to meetings with, you know, beauty editors of all people, you know, going to fashion shows, like keeping myself out there and being able to keep my work, my job. And I went online, and I have to tell you, this is 8 years ago. I was very discouraged. And I'm like, where's the post-mastectomy lingerie? How do I put lashes on if I have none? Where do I get a wig from? When do I shave my head? And this is before Instagram and everything. And I thought, where's the book of breast cancer? And so I just started this little list. And I would say the first brand that I stumbled upon was our dear friend Dana Donofree of Anna Ono. I met her at Living Beyond Breast Cancer, and I saw her stuff and I'm like, oh my God. And that made my head explode. And that really was the catalyst, I would say, to everything that I do now. It was the first brand that I discovered. And I thought there's got to be other brands like this. So I started a list, and a really good friend of mine who was like my arms and legs during treatment, she was running my kids around, my dear friend Tina. She has a British accent, and she also creates websites. And she was like, Melissa, you ought to start a blog. And I'm like, Tina, I cannot even fry an egg. Like, I'm in the middle of chemo. Okay, fine, I'll start a blog. So that's what we do, right? That's what we do. Because even my mom and everyone was like, well, you have this list, but what good is it if other people can't reap the benefits of it? And that's when I was like, oh, and it was so healing for me to know that I was finding stuff, but also sharing it with other women that were like me that needed it. So that's how this whole
I love it. It's interesting because you said in the beginning, and I think we all go through this when we're in the fight, like when we're actually in the fight, not later, which is this whole set of problems, but while you're in it. And you and I both come from this beauty background, beauty fashion is so tied together. And it was interesting because we take on so much of that. Okay, people are judging us, or people don't want to see it, or what it is. And I think that a lot of it comes from us rather than the outside world, right? So the outside world doesn't really cater to the issues that we're having, to your point, right? So there is no place to turn. Yeah, because it's really on us. Like Michelle and I would go out, I know, to the diner, say when I was full on bald, no, like whatever, I would go out and be like, whatever, who cares? But the people were so kind. Oh, here's a free piece of chocolate cake, honey. Keep fighting, girl. Everyone's really sweet, but there's hundreds and thousands of us, right, that are going through this, and there is nowhere for us to turn within that. And that's really hard. So I love that you're acknowledging.
It can feel very isolating. In fact, you just triggered a memory. I'll never forget one of my first meetings that I had to go to with a major client. It was a luxury watch brand. And it was a board meeting. There were, staff members that were flying from all over the world, and we were presenting, and I had my wig on for the first time. And I remember like feeling the sweat. It was like August, and being so nervous and so scared. And I'm like, I just thought, I don't want anyone to ever feel like this again. Like it's not okay.
No, and we take it on, and then you have nowhere to turn. So it's beautiful to see you doing this, these types of things that bring the community together and say, all right, I'm gonna give you a place to go. So, which leads me to, before I want to ask you about clothes and stuff, is tell us about your podcast, Dear Cancer, I'm Beautiful. We're excited to hear that.
Thank you. I am really, and like, I'll tell everyone, we were like having a chat before. It is a lot of work, but I love it. But it is, now I have a whole new found respect for podcasters. It is no joke, because just when you secure a guest and record, you're on to, you have to find, it's a funnel. You have to keep it full, and you want to make sure that you're delivering information that your audience is interested in. So Dear Cancer, I'm Beautiful is the name of the podcast, and you can find it by going to Apple or Spotify or Google Play or Stitcher. And the reason that I decided to do a podcast is because I just love interviewing thrivers, as well as I call them cancerpreneurs. So women that have created a service or a product as a result of their own journey. And also I'm doing a bone health series, which that's a whole other topic that I'm just fascinated with, because now that I'm turning 50, I never realized how important my bone health is. And so that's really exciting. And like I said, it's just another platform for me to be able to share conversations. And the cool thing about a podcast is you could be in your car or folding your laundry. It's sort of like when you want to hear something inspirational or, a new resource, and you can just tap into it whenever you want. It's a really nice way to get the information.
You're getting a lot of love in the chat. Janelle said, yeah, it's definitely different information, different attention for sure. I'm like, yeah, I agree. It is different. Like the attention. Yeah. And everyone's
Yes.
giving you love. Sally saying hi. Everyone's giving
Oh
you
my
lots of
God.
hearts and
Hey,
love.
Sally. Oh my God. I
Oh,
love
I love
everyone.
Isn't our community beautiful? I love our community. So then let me ask you, since obviously you were always, that was your job, fashion, and that was your career, fashion, beauty in that world. And obviously it did change after cancer, right? How you adjusted to it. So let me ask you a professional question. And that is, some of the biggest problems we face, as you know, is the change in our body. And our community ranges from the stay flats to the weight gainers because of the hormones, and to lymphedema when your arms are not the same size. So there's a lot of change in how we have to approach a style. And all these little things that don't sound like a lot to people add up to one big frustration, right?
yeah.
My closet is not the same as it was. It's so frustrating. And you work with so many great designers. I've seen you talking to them. I've seen you in their shows. So I want to know 3 of your favorite brands for survivors or stylists that we could look at or follow, and tell us why we should be.
Absolutely. I have to say, one of my first jobs in PR was with BCBG. I still love their product. And if I need like something dressy, that's the first place I'll always check. And I don't know what it is. I feel like their sizing is still very true to size. And they always have like a really good mix of like fun and, but also, like dressy and casual, like really mix and match. Lately, I love Zara, but oh my God, my daughter and I went to the mall the other day and there was a lot, you cannot even get in there because of the social distancing. So that was a little upsetting.
That place must be really hot right now because I see it a lot in social media. What is special about Zara?
What I love about Zara is that I feel like it is kind of one-stop shopping because you can literally get a tank top or, a suit there. They really, I feel like they cover all of the different categories, and I've even gotten their shoes there, my shoes there. And it's fun. And also if you shop the sale racks, it's definitely, affordable. And I think even more so than BCBG. BCBG can get a little pricey, but yeah, I would say those are 2 of my favorite brands. And then of course I love Anna Ono because, I think every great outfit starts with a really good foundation. And I think to your point, Jillian, like whether you've chosen to go flat or you have one breast or 2 breast, Dana really addresses all those issues. And I feel like, having that foundation and feeling beautiful underneath your clothing is just as important as what you put on the outside.
Can you, because I know you work closely with Anna Ono, right?
Yes.
And she has her fashion show every year. Just if you could just a little bit elaborate on what she creates and where our people could get it, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Dana, like I had mentioned earlier, she's a dear friend of mine, and we met each other at a Living Beyond Breast Cancer conference several years ago. I can't even believe how long it's been. And her vendor table caught my eye because, it looked like beautiful, sexy lingerie. And I'm like, what is it? What is this product doing at a breast cancer convention? So I've always told Dana she's like a pioneer in her own right, because I don't think anyone has come close to what she's doing. And what she provides is lingerie, but now she's also doing loungewear. So it's really become like a lifestyle collection of bras, underwear, lounge pants. She does something called the Miana robe that is unbelievable. And if anyone ever asks, what's a great gift idea? It's one size fits all, and it has a drain belt that comes out. I mean, it's genius, seriously. So,
wow.
And you can find all of her products at annaono.com. And beyond that, and I've sat on panels with Dana before. Beyond it being just a brand, she talk about a community. She has an incredible community. Incredible. And her hashtag is actually never alone. So I would say for anyone listening in, if you don't already know her product, definitely check it out. And if anyone says, what can I do for you? What can I get you? Be like, I could use a robe. I could use some new bras.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. So Zara, you like in general for fashion because you just think they're easy. They can be affordable, and it's, you like the fit. You like the fit of Zara. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Because certain designers cut women and some cut model showroom. We need women sizes because your chest broadens out. You would think if you lose your chest, it's different. No, the whole thing broadens out. Absolutely. It's crazy. Absolutely. Okay. So All right, here, I'm gonna throw one at you. Ready? How about
Okay,
this?
okay. Do it. I'm ready for it. Listen, I'm still working on my coffee.
I love it. Okay, so here we go. After treatment, because everything changes, it could be from hair, it could be from body, it could be from insecurity, doubt, whatever, right? Your style kind of has to change with it. So, I think a lot of us find frustration. Like I used to wear very beautiful girly dresses and florals and things like that. My eyesight went after chemo really badly. So now I have to live in my glasses. I can't wear contact lens because of the severe dry eye. It all threads together.
Okay.
So
I love your glasses, by the way. I feel like
Oh.
that's like your signature. I love
It
your
had to be.
signature.
Girl, if you're gonna wear old lady trifocals, they got to make them fabulous, okay? So not even trying. So basically, and my point, not to throw it back on me, it's just an example, is that I used to be able to pull off a certain look that I can't anymore. So I have still to this day kind of struggle. So now, it's like, all right, baggy off the shoulder shirts, baggy sweatpants, because I don't feel the glasses go with a certain style. And I think that happens to a lot of us. So if you had to sit down and tell somebody, I know you're frustrated because you're not dressing the way you used to because of your body or whatever's happening, how would you push them forward? What are some tips to help them start over? Really?
Oh, I have so many good ones. So first of all, purge your closet. If there was this one dress, I swear it was because I was treated, I had my chemotherapy done in the summer, that I wore so much that by the end of treatment, I would look at it and feel nauseous. Purge your closet. If there's anything that reminds you of treatment or even the day you were diagnosed or whatever, just get rid of it. And you don't necessarily need to buy a whole new wardrobe right away. Like get a great pair of jeans that fit you really well. Find and experiment with different tops. Like I find, if especially just recently had surgery, maybe you don't want to go with a plunged neckline, but maybe a jewel neck, maybe something with like ruffles are so in right now for spring. Like if you're in between, if you have your expanders and you're still going through reconstruction, the ruffle top is so great for no matter where you are with whether you're flat or not. I just love that. And just, try things on. It's a lot of it is trial and error because we all have different shapes. But I will tell you a little funny side note. I was very sad that I learned the hard way that I could not wear strapless anymore. And the way I learned this is because I wore a strapless bathing suit to the beach. And I think one of my daughters was like, "Mommy, that's not on you anymore." And because we lose feeling and sensation, I think it was like somewhere down here.
Did you have nipples or no nipples?
I think I had the nipples. I was feeling great. I was like, I got this. I'm like, yes, my cleavage is great. So ladies, I will tell you, everyone's different, but you may want to stay away from the strapless because they can creep down on you and you won't even know.
That's a good thing too. That's a really good thing too. Well, okay. So, and since you're triple negative, and I know you do a lot in the community anyway, do you have any favorite outreach programs for triple negatives where they can go things that your podcast, things like that, like places you think people can go to help them?
Boy, do I ever. Thank you for asking. So the Triple Negative Breast Cancer Foundation, tnbc.org, is near and dear to my heart. I'm one of their board members, and we have a fabulous website where you can find out, the latest information about research, but also community. So it's really, you got the best of both worlds. But what I love that we've been doing lately is the first Tuesday of every month. In fact, we have a meeting tonight, and you could just go to the website and sign up for the Zoom meeting. We have Thriver Tuesdays. So we meet every Tuesday on Zoom, and it's anyone that wants to join can hop in. You can, if you want to just hang out and listen and not even show your video, that's cool. Or if you want to totally participate, it's whatever you want to do. And then we also have a Zoom call for women who have metastatic triple negative breast cancer. So we really we try to cater to everyone. But I would say, the Triple Negative Breast Cancer Foundation does an incredible job with their community and with the information on their website and doing these meetings. And Kelly Thomas of Talk is Cheap and also TNBC Thrivers is our host, and she's so amazing. She does an amazing job.
That's incredible. Okay, thank you. That's why you are a hub in the community, one-stop shopping with you, and we love it. So I just want to thank you for being here today, and hopefully we'll see you on your show.
I know. I have to say, I'm all like chill. Like I'm like, this is so nice to be the guest for once and not have to worry about.
I know. I know. I loved your text this morning. You're like, I wish you were here doing my makeup.
I know. Well, it could be very intimidating to get on a Zoom with a makeup artist because I'm like, as I'm doing it, I'm like, Jillian would probably be like, no.
No judgment.
What do you do? What kind of brush is that? Why you do? But I did the best I could.
You look fabulous. Not concerned. So thank you for being here. Thank you for everything.
Thanks for having me. Seriously, and keep doing what you guys are doing. And I'm just so proud to be a part of your mission.
Oh, thank you, my love. And Michelle and I, again, want to say thank you to all of you that shopped the Sexiest Beauty this month. As you know, Heather is a small woman-owned business. So when she does these promos for us, we are so grateful because let's face it, it hasn't been easy with COVID. All nonprofits are suffering. So we really appreciate that you are helping us, to keep our doors open as we go, because it hasn't been easy. So thank you, all of you. And congratulations to Susan Block, our big blockbuster winner, my sister survivor. Can't wait for you to get your stuff. You better DM me, girl. And that is it. Michelle, anything else?
No, not at all. And just FYI, Cancer Fashionista, I changed my blouse like 3 times because you were coming on the show.
Oh, come on.
She did.
Well, but I feel like we're all going to be putting our hoodies on after this. Isn't that silly?
That's right. She did. Well, everyone, as always, stay strong, stay positive. You are beautiful, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.